in my personal journey, yeah, I got my ass kicked for a decade.
Hmm.
And so I remember saying in this small group, like, oh, Marsh, don't blow an account. And I'm like, dude, I blew my life up twice.
Mm.
I and I wasn't trying to sound like an ass. I just thought like I'm not ever gonna blow an account.
Hmm.
And I realize I don't know the future, right? But I blew my life up twice. And so
Right.
saying I won't blow an account is really just trying to say, look, I know what it's like to swing when you're emotional. I know what
Hmm.
it's like to make choices off of emotions.
Hmm.
I know what it's like to not be centered and to not know myself well enough to know what I need.
Mm.
So relentless in the pursuit of trading, yeah, but it's really been um, very parallel with relentless in the pursuit of myself,
Hmm.
because that's really under that layer of trading for me, is
Hmm.
being relentless in the pursuit of who am I?
That's very well said, and that is the way it has felt working with you in the small group. Is that you are not developing yourself in order to get better at trading. You have been developing yourself, working on yourself for so long, and you're now sort of aiming all of that weaponry and resources and everything towards the craft of trading now, right? Some people come to us and they're like, you guys got to teach me trading psychology so I can make more money because this is, I know all the tools, but I can't keep my head on straight. It's like, okay, that's fine. We can help you a little bit with that. But you were like, I'm developing myself as a human being out of necessity, as you described.
Yeah,
And now I have all of this strength and knowledge and wisdom to bear that I can now focus and funnel into trading.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And figure it out like a business. I've only had one
Mm-hmm.
of my buddies, he's a real close friend of mine, and we were driving around town one day and he goes, hey man, I see what you're doing. I'm like, you don't see shit. What do you see? He's like, you're doing with trading what you did with photography.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, oh man, that's like the first time I feel really seen
Wow.
because we're gonna figure out every nook and cranny of this thing. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
find all the corners of the room, the ceiling, the floor. We're gonna figure out the square footage, and we're gonna figure out how all of that is. And we're gonna go
Mm-hmm.
really slow, and we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna find this dope community, and it will be successful.
The way you're talking, it makes me realize why you resonate with Ranch, because that's the way that
Mm,
Ranch thinks too. And to everybody's watching this, everybody has their own style, their own way of learning, their own way of approaching difficult things, which obviously trading is. Ranch's way was like, Ranch is like, I need to understand everything about this. You can't just tell me here's this new like Gex tool that we have. When it hits this level, it means X. He's like, no, I need to understand everything about what goes into this, right? And it sounds like you're really the same way. Yeah, you're just like, I need to internalize all of this. I'm not just going to drive the car. I need to be able to take the car apart, put it back together,
yeah,
then I'll take it out on the highway.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
100%, man.
I mean, you said so we have these like events, these little sample events of what people realize along the way. They're just sort of examples of some of the things that people experience. And this one actually came from you because we were talking to small groups about, hey, what do you guys think about these? See the market as a mirror.
Yeah.
Can you explain the first time I don't know, what does that mean to you?
I mean, wherever you are in your life, it might sound like some hippie shit, but wherever you are in life, like the people that want to learn more about trading psychology, well, what do you like when you go get a coffee and someone steps in front of you in line, but you don't understand that how you're reacting there is the same way you fucking react when you're about to lose a trade, but you won't let go.
Mm,
Like if you can't connect those two dots, stop trading for a little bit. But but
yeah.
that yeah, wherever you are in life, that's how you're going to trade.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you believe in that shit or not, that's a fact. That's not my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you're having a really shitty day, you're gonna make some bad choices trading probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you won't get a winner, but you'll get a winner out of some degenerate shit.
Mm,
You'll get a winner based off of something that you shouldn't have got a winner through,
hmm.
which isn't a win. It's cash, but it's not building you as a trader. Like, can you sit in the market and say, Chris Cady said this, I want what the market wants? Can you sit there or are you fighting it the entire time?
Hmm.
And so I've never had a mirror as bright and reflective as the market. My woman, my partnerships, like the love of my life, those relationships, those close relationships are mirrors for sure. If you can't understand that if someone else says something and you react loudly to it, that's you, it's not them.
Mm,
They're just your mirror. And so I go to the market and I'm like, damn, I've never had anything or anybody teach me more about myself than trying to trade in the market. It will show you everything about yourself. It will
mm,
show you how impatient you are or patient you are. It goes both ways, right? It doesn't have to be a negative thing. And if it shows you how impatient you are, that's not negative. Like we have to reframe our mindset to understand that failures are the lessons.
hmm.
And if you lose at something, then find the win out of it, right? But our culture is always like, oh, you fail or you lose. But Conor McGregor says, I either learn or I win.
Hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, let's adapt that mentality.
Hmm.
But that market will expose all of you, fucking butt ass naked, standing in an open crowd. It will expose all of you. You know what I mean? It will show all of you. And if you're willing to see it, like I would even put money on saying that the market, trading in the market has made my relationship with my love better.
Mm. How
Because
so?
I get to know more about myself,
Hmm.
being impatient or having a bias or not wanting to listen to what the other is saying. Like the
Hmm.
market's telling you stuff all day long. Are you going to listen? And then you go to your partnership, your relationships. Are you going to listen or are you just fighting back because it's not what you want to hear? If we can stop and listen and give space for those things to have a voice and not be fueled by fear, not be held back by fear, but to give fear space so that we can learn and grow, then your trading is going to get better, your personal relationships are going to get better, and then your person relationship is going to get better.
Mm.
So it's just a space to get to know about yourself, which is probably why I'm like I'm not bored of this shit. I want more.
Yeah, man. I mean, if somebody's out there watching this and they're like, all right, this guy's on another level, what is some of the, like, how do you keep yourself connected to that level of kind of that powerful perspective that you're talking about, that wisdom? Like, what are some of the things that you do to keep yourself in that space?
I think some of us are lucky enough to grow up with it. I know that my parents, who were together for 44 years, till my dad passed like 9 years ago, that they told me that I could do anything.
Wow.
I know that we're not all lucky enough to have that.
Mm,
So at the end of the day, if it's nature or nurture, we have to take responsibility for ourselves and treat ourselves how we want to be treated. You have to get to know yourself well enough to know what you need. And then when you find out, and this is a journey, it's not just like, oh, you can find that out in a day.
hmm.
I can stay in that mindset. Yeah, because my mom always said, like, you can do anything that you believe in.
Hmm.
The last thing my dad ever told me said was, now that you believe in yourself, the sky's the limit.
Jesus. Wow.
And then I came home to Utah and I'm working on a Sunday and I go outside and there's a bus, like a double length bus that goes past, there's nobody out, and it says the sky's the limit. I'm like, all right, man, I'm not making this shit up.
Right.
You believe in it or not, like those things happened.
Yeah.
And I don't take that as a coincidence. I take that as like a message.
Mm-hmm.
So so part of it is being able to stay in it is having that mentality
Mm-hmm.
that you can. If you're hanging around people that don't believe that, dude, get rid of those people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're hanging around yourself and you don't believe it, start there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of information out there on how to change your psyche. It takes 25 days to build a new neural pathway, right? Not 30 days to a new habit. You're changing the structure of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So spend the time to get to where you want to get to inside, to change that psychology in you and have a belief system that cannot be deflated by anything. It's not just a survivor's bias, it's whatever you believe is real.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you choosing to believe? And I would challenge everybody on that. What do you actually believe? Well, figure that shit out first and then go hard because this is it. This is all we got. So um, losing my dad 9 years ago was a huge shift for me. And my eyes were really open to how temporary this experience can be. And,
Yeah.
I never thought that would ever happen. It's kind of silly, right? Like, but I never thought about it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, you have to be your own cheerleader because I've been freelancing for like 14 years. No one's going to help you out. No one gives a shit about you.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might. Hopefully, you got some people that really do.
Yeah.
But you know what? Everybody's got to take care of themselves. Like, why do you think in a plane they tell you to put that shit on yourself first?
Mm-hmm.
You have to take care of yourself first. And I think some people don't really believe in that structure.
I mean, you just said there's so much in that. The measure of, I think your life experiences taught you how to take personal responsibility, take responsibility for yourself. And if there is like one magical way I could like pull from the essence of Marsh with some like Harry Potter shit and like put that into, every new trader that comes in, it would be, man, it's kind of, you got a lot of great qualities, but yeah, taking responsibility for yourself, take it, really owning that. And the depth of what that means. Uh, I feel like you embody that many levels down. And clearly it served you. It serves you in your life and it's serving you in this relentless march forward that you have in terms of your growth.
Thanks, man. I mean, I agree on the responsibility part, but I didn't learn that until my mid 30s, right? I'm 43, so
Yeah.
I learned that through some pretty hectic times. So it's not like you just learn it and that's chill. Like I
Yeah.
went through hell to learn how to take responsibility for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But but it's great because then it's like riding a bike. Like you're not really gonna forget about it.
Right.
And if you do, you can go make those mistakes again. But that doesn't sound too fun.
And as you said, like there's blown accounts in the market and then there's blown accounts in life. And you were like, hey, I've blown accounts. And it's everybody goes through this, hits a certain point. You're like, I'm not going to go through that pain again. Ranch has his story. Basically, everybody that we'll bring on in this interview series has that story,
Yeah,
and you had that. Yeah. And you
for
were like, I'm,
real.
I'm
Yeah.
not going back. It's seared into your mind. You're just like, this is not an option.
Yeah. I've blown accounts for sure. It wasn't in the stock market.
Right.
Yeah. Hey,
Always
and
keep,
that And that shit does come with financial responsibility too. Like, yeah, I blew my life up, and guess what? It cost me a lot of money too. So yeah, that account did go to zero. You want to talk real? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
bro, I had $500 in my bank account.
Mhm.
As like a 34-year-old, I had $500 in my bank account,
Yeah.
and it was September. And I'm like, yo, fuck this, man. On my birthday in February, I'm gonna have 20 grand in there. I don't care how I get it.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't care how much work it takes to get there.
Right.
I want to use photography as a vehicle because that's my sharpest sword.
Hmm.
That's that Hanzo blade on the wall, right? Some Kill Bill shit. And guess what? Guess what? 2 weeks after my birthday that next year, I had 20 grand in my account
It's awesome.
from $500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk to you about this for hours, but I know that you also have a life you got to live. So I want to ask you one
Oh shit, it's been
question.
30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an
You can go
hour,
longer.
man. It's been longer than that.
Oh shit.
But I want to ask you, let's assume, and if I was a betting man, which I am,
Yeah.
listen, I know better than anybody. I've seen thousands of people do this, try to do this. I know what the odds are. And of course, there are no guarantees. But if I was going to bet, I would bet on you to continue on this trajectory and get through these subsequent stages up to, what you might call the promised land, stage 6, equilibrium, right? Of very consistently profitable and not even and being beyond the stage where you feel where that's messing with you psychologically, which we'll talk about, in future interviews. Success sometimes is harder to manage than failure. But let's just imagine you're at stage 6, Marsh, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward 5 years. I'm sitting here talking to stage 6 Marsh. And I say, stage 6 Marsh, I'm going to let you go back to 2025, May 2025, and talk to stage 3 Marsh. What's the one thing you think he needs to hear right now?
Mm. One of the biggest tricks in life and this human experience is to learn how to be comfortable while you're completely uncomfortable.
Mm,
And if you can practice being comfortable when you're not up here feeling comfortable, when everything else is out of sorts, you can master anything.
mm.
Chris Katie's right, slow and low. There's a million ways to trade. Stay in small groups, right? No one else knows I tried to dip, right?
Have you wavered? And I was like, yo, where are you going? Come on.
It's keep the right people around you for sure. Keep learning. Watch the ego.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it have a voice, but you don't got to do what it says to do.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to be comfortable while you're completely uncomfortable. That's what I want to master. Because I agree
Right.
with you. Outside of ego, I agree with you that that is my trajectory. Be careful what you believe because it will become real.
Mm-hmm.
And so Marsh at that level says, keep going. You're on the right path. And all the work you've put in is real and for something great. And I think don't give up is kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't give
Yeah.
up and don't get cocky.
Stay relentless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay relentless, man. Fucking stay relentless. I love that.
Might need to get a decal on the wall there, man.
Yo,
Stay relentless.
we need that on the Lucci shop, on the Wall Street Jesus shop. Stay relentless.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not bad.
really cool. because it seems impossible until you learn and do it, and then it's not impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never knew I grew up skateboarding. You never knew how to kickflip until you landed one.
Mm-hmm.
How many tries did it take? But then as soon as it clicks, like that's the shit we're living for.
Mm-hmm.
And I want that feeling and that dopamine. I want that. So stay relentless. Yeah, man. I love that.
Dude, thank you for doing this. Yeah, could talk to you forever about this stuff. Gonna have to drag you back on for more conversations because there's just too much meat left on the bone. But for now, this is probably a good place to end it, man. So yeah, thank you for sharing your journey and sharing so much of your experience and wisdom with us, man. We're all everybody who's interacted with you and cross paths with you in our community is better for it, man. So
Thank you, brother.
thank you for showing up the way you do and for doing this.